Hello everyone and welcome to part 14 of my Pokemon DS hacking tutorials, where today I wanted to kind of touch on a question I see a lot in the Discord server, where all somebody wants to do is to change the color on an existing sprite. Like basically they just want to make the player's jacket red or something like that. And they want to know if there's any way to do it more easily since they're not changing the sprite itself, just the colors used by the sprite. And there is a program called Console Tool that can do just that. And Console Tool is only a program I've ever shown off once in my trainer card episode, which is a little under an hour long, so understandably not a lot of people have seen that one yet. So I thought it'd be handy to make an episode just on that tool to help spread around what it can do. Okay, so let's open up Tinke here. Open up our Platinum ROM. And for today, I want to open trainer graphic, trainer front graphic, and pack. And I believe the one I want to look at is number 316 and 315. There we go. The many pieces of berry. I think we can look at this a little easier if I look at 317 like so. Where after opening the RGCN, you can click on this one to see them all put together so you don't have to see it as this big garbled mess. And you can even scroll through the different frames to see how many that there are. And okay, so this is Barry. Everyone loves Barry, but let's say that you have a particular dream and you wish that Barry would wear a blue scarf. And unfortunately, Tinke has this little tiny preview, so I am going to export this. Throw it on the desktop, yes. And then I will take that and open it in a Sprite. Boom. There he is. Okay. So I want to see if I can make him wear a blue scarf right here. So to do that, all I have to do, actually I might just minimize this for now, is I'm going to open up Console Tool, like so. There we are. And in this tool, I can do the same thing, which is File, Open, and then go to the desktop, locate Platinum Narc. There we are, which is a handy TV icon. Okay, we get the same kind of list as we do in Tinke. This is in a slightly different order, but we can still find Poketool. Come on down to, different order. Trainer Graphic. Trainer front, and this time we double click on it to open it up in a new tab, like so. And now we see the same contents, and you just scroll all the way down to 316 that we're currently looking at. If I double click that, it opens up this in its own window, and that is the palette that you see Barry use. Now, RECNs don't export as indexed, so when I opened it in A-Sprite, it just took its best guess at the order of the colors instead of this one here. But this would be the order that the ROM already uses, so we are okay. And so you can see that Barry only really has 2 green colors for his tie here, so this is pretty simple. I just want to click on darker green, and I think I just need to get rid of the red and the green, and I want to make it a nice dark blue, yes, just like so. And then we can do a lighter one, and I think to get light blue, it's a lot of green, where you add blue, yeah, that's it. Now I kinda want a darker blue, I think. So there we are. So something like that should look good. Okay, then I can just go File, Export, and it starts you off with, funnily enough, okay, so this is gonna save it as an NCLR, which you may notice in Tinke, it's the opposite of an RLCN. I don't know why, but, you know, at least then you'll know that you're exporting with the right format, I guess. But okay, so we take that one, go ahead and save it, goes over here, boom, yes. Okay, and then we just come back to a Tinke right here, and then I can click on 316, just do a change file to directly replace it with this new 316. I can look at it, view, it's got the blue now. So when I first view the RGCN, you can kind of see this is working. And then to see it very well, we view 317 and that's it. Every frame now has a blue scarf. Easy peasy. And then, let's see here. If I export, I want to call this one blue. Save. And then I can open this up next to it. You can see that it also affected the bracelet here because that was also using the green. So when you're changing the palette, every pixel using that color will also be changed. So you have to be careful the kind of changes you want to make with this method. It has to be a direct recolor for this to work. But alright, that's the front sprite. So, what about the back sprite? So, I go back to Tinke. And first, don't forget to pack your narc. Bam. Pack. Alright, then we unpack the other one. Oh, yeah, and this time he's just like 11 and 10, right? Yeah, there he is. Okay, and again, so RGCN, then I can go down to the RECN. And, okay, so we have to scroll down a little bit before we see this one here. So I will export this one. We can take a look at that. Bam. Bam. Okay. So it looks like, yep, still just 2 colors for green, dark and lighter. So we just come back in. Oops, spoilers for later. To console tool. And so this, when you save one, it makes a new tab for the one you just made, the new file. So close the one I made, which matches the same one that I opened from the narc. And, oh yeah, it's separate. So close the front narc, open the back narc. We're working with palette number 11. Very good. Okay, and, okay, so you can see it's the same colors, but in a different order. So this does mean that we can't just take 316 and put it over 11 in the narc. Because even in here, if we look at it, view, that's the same thing. The greens are now separate, so that would just mess up the whole sprite. So if Nintendo had made them the same order, this would be easier, but because they did not, we have to do a little extra step. But it's not too hard, at least for this change that I want to make. Which is just to come back here again and take this one and blah, and then nice dark blue, like so. And then again, so up, down, yeah, that was it. So I could technically, I see here that his scarf is a lighter color than it is in the original. But I like the darker one more, so I'm going to stick with that. But you don't have to. You can pick whatever colors that you want. But for me, I will go with this. Now I do File, Export, 11, boom. Yeah. Okay, and then again, just come on in, take this one, change the file, and like so, view it. And there's my blues. So then view the RGCN, looking good so far. Jump down to the RECN, and scroll down to where we can see that scarf, and yeah, that looks good. As far as I know, oh no, I think if I export this one, blue, there is a little change here. No, on this one actually it's gray, so never mind. Oh, but on the back sprite they have this shading here. Okay. That doesn't happen with the, well, it kind of happens with this one. So you'll have to choose the care if you want this one or not. But the main question is, what color is this? If I take this and I look at it, okay, so it's this number there on the palette. Is it the same as that color? Oh, it is. So if I changed it with this method, instead of redrawing a new one, like I do in episode 2, that would change the color of his pants. So we'll have to leave that alone as it is for now. But okay. And it would be the same thing too up here. Like if you wanted to make Barry a redhead, you'd have to be careful because the color used here for the shading of his hair is the same as the shading on his hand. So you want to be careful how you change those pixels as well. Which is just to say that with this method, you want to be sure that what you're doing will only affect the pixels that you want when trying to use this faster method with Console Tool. But alright, for the most part, I have the blue tie that I want, which is not so bad. And I suppose I could cheat a bit, because I don't think his pants show up too much. So I could come back over here. Let's see, what number was that? That was this dark gray, which looks like it's this one. Yeah. Let's just make it a little more blue. Like just not even noticeable. Just like that. Export. We'll just replace that one over it like that. Save. Yes. Okay. And then take this. Change file. Alright. View. I don't think it'd be too noticeable, but if we do the RGCN, view it. RECN. And export, I'll just put it over this one here. I already have. Yes. Okay. I can close that one down. Open up the new version. It's a little different. So anyway, you can see it's a delicate balance of when not to go too far. But a more direct one I can show you is to close these down. And if you have seen any of my part 3s when working with actual Pokemon battle sprites, you can see there's a bunch of extra steps to work with to try to view them and see them. And if you're just trying to recolor an existing Pokemon, this can work for those as well. So we leave the trainer behind and we go up to the Pokegraphic. And we go to platinumpokegraphic.narc. And we unpack it. Okay. And I'm going to return to an old friend again. Okay. So 155, view. This is the shiny palette for Pikachu. As you may already know, you can't view these in Tinke itself. You have to use PokePic DS or Gen 4 Sprite Editor to actually see them. But since I'm familiar with these, I can just come down here and you can basically see that these are the yellows of Pikachu. So, if I come back over to Console Tool, close down 11 and close down the snark here and do the exact same here and locate 155. Okay, so exactly what I want to do is to take these colors and make them slightly darker shades of green. So we have this shade of green. And then we have a little bit of a darker shade of green. And then we have even just a little bit of darker. Yeah. And then even darker. And then incredibly dark. Perfect. And I think that's enough for now. So I go File, Export, and then go ahead and save it as an NLCR. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Same thing again. All right, locate 155. View it again, and I have the green. And now, to be able to view it and show you what I've done, I have to scroll up. And as always, if you unpack a narc, be sure to pack it before you do anything. And now I can go ahead and extract it. Let's see, it's the uncompressed folder instead of a compressed one. No, I want the compressed one. So no, so I get the whole narc in its usual state. Bam, just like that. Okay, that way I can just open up Gen 4 Sprite Editor, use it to open up that narc I just got, and go ahead and look down at Pikachu, who is around 155. There it is, okay, and he's already green. So right away I was able to change the shiny palette to what I wanted, which is close to the usual green Pikachu that I like to make. Which I'm not sure when that started, but you know. But you can see if you look closely that there is a dark brown around the tail. So I could get some other colors and change those to green as well. But this is really just an example of how to show you how to do it quickly. But yeah, this can pretty much do that to any palette around the ROM. So if you're just looking to change some of the colors around the ROM, this is a tool that will let you do it quickly. But I'm not quite done yet. There's one more use that I know for this tool that is very useful, at least for the icons, like the Pokemon party icons. And what I mean by that, which you may already know if you've watched my episodes on Pokemon icons, episodes 7 and 7.5, is that if you come into the icon graphic, Platinum Pokemon graphic unpackage, you have your usual plethora of RGCNs that represent each Pokemon in the ROM, but you see that these don't have a palette with them. That's because all of them were created to only use 3 palettes in the ROM. Any one of those 3. Which means that you have the challenge of any new icons that you make have to use colors from one of the 3 that you see right here. But that can be a little challenging, so what Console Tool can do is export the palette in a way that you can usually load it directly onto your sprite for testing. So I can come into Console Tool, close down all of these things I don't need, also open up the icon graphic, like so, and it would just be this one. And this is a little different because really what this is a big palette with just 3 lines, and it just has coding to say which of the lines should it use. So I can go and file, export, but this time you do not want to keep it as an NLCR. You want to pick an ACT. And an ACT can be loaded by any program I have shown so far for indexing. Sprite, Photoshop, and Graphic Scale. I think Sprite also can use PALs, but anyway, if you use ACT, you'll be good for any program. So I just go ahead and do that, save it, and I get this fancy looking file right there. Okay, and I have a example icon. Get this out of the way, this out of the way. This one too. And I have this icon here made by the Discord member Slipooky, bam, where they have made a fusion of Cyndaquil and Zangoose. And these are the colors they want to use, but unfortunately they do not match any of the available palettes that they can pick from. But a quick way that we can see which of the 3 palettes would be best would be to, 1, make sure this is not indexed yet, good. We don't want to mess up the colors when we bring it in, but we can use this, load the palette, load the 000 ACT, bang. Okay, so we have our palette and each of the lines are there in order. Perfect. So all I need to do is to remove lines 2 and 3 and all this fluff at the end. And then I can change this to indexed. So Sprite takes its best guess of the colors that match the best for the sprite. And doesn't seem like line 1's going to do it. All right, so we'll back up. And let's back up again to bring back the colors. I can then just delete line number 1 and then delete line number 2 and try this one. Okay, you lost kind of the shading around the eye, but that's not too bad. Alright, if I try to back up again and back up again, we can, well, I guess I didn't need to bring back line 1, did I? But also I can get rid of line 2, keep line 3 and get rid of the fluff. And then index that one. Which is close. However, there's not a very good second red color for that shading. So I think for this one, the best option was line number 2, which is palette 2. Bang. And this one. And you could try, like, this is just Sprite's best guess to save you time by auto-indexing, but you could try painting with this lighter pink to see if maybe this would work as shading, but that is up to personal preference from there on what you'd want to do. This is at least an easy way to try to do that to make your decision. And then from there, you know the number of the palette that you want when you go through episode 7 and 7.5 to put it into the ROM. But okay, this tool is definitely very situational, but I do hope you found something of use to you. As always, you can find a copy of this tool in the zip folder in the description of my video, and I hope it makes ROM hacking a little easier for you. Good night, everybody!